Check one, check, check. Don't move back there. Fuck. Hey there, folks. Welcome to the Hubris. My name is alecjace, and today we're going to talk about how I'm an impulsive buyer. It's never quite enough to just let go. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for joining us today. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for joining us today. Before we get started, I wanted to discuss really quickly import Canons. I don't know anything about import anything else's, but I went on some forums. I saw a bunch of imported cameras that were brand new for very cheap on eBay from reputable sellers. I wanted to know what that was about. I went on some forums. I found out that the imports are from the exact same factories. In fact, I have already tracked this back to the same factory that all the American ones are made in, which is awesome. I got an 80D for $740 on eBay. It was an import. They don't come. The only thing they don't come with is a lens, if you wanted to get the kit lens. Sometimes they do not have the instruction manual in English. I got an English one, which was cool, but they have the same charger, the same battery, the same hookups. You just get like an extra hookup for Japanese walls or something like that. I don't know what that's from, but awesome deal. You don't get the manufacturer warranty, like I said, but you get, on my particular one, I got a year-long seller's warranty, so that works. The extended warranties are super jank. Make sure you look up reviews on the extended warranty people before you buy them, because some of these people are just basically like shills, and they just take your money and never help you out if you break your camera. So let's get down to the subject of this conversation. I have a Blackmagic design cinema camera, 2.5K resolution camera here, and I have a Canon 80D here. The 80D, a lot of people know about this. It's the it's the newer version of the 70D, which was that huge vlogger cam, and this is the new version of that. It's awesome. I love it. Been using them for a bit now. The Blackmagic is also awesome. As I said, it shoots in 2.5K RAW. It shoots in ProRes. It shoots in DNx HD. Really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shots with this camera. I have a history of being sort of a nerdy guy who, whenever I get obsessed with something and I spend some time on it, I want the best gear out there. In the camera world, that can get you into trouble really quickly. In audio, it always sort of did. I've been an audio engineer for 15 years since college, and I was smarter this time around. I didn't go out and buy like all the best stuff right away, but about a year in to research, I decided to pick up the Blackmagic. I saw a lot of good reviews on it. They were all correct. This camera is amazing. Basically, what you're getting is a 2.5K resolution camera with an LCD monitor in the back, great audio inputs. It's got like a cage built into it. I know people don't like to use the cage and the actual threads on the body of their cameras, but I love it. It's got SSD drive in it, which I like. Some people don't. I understand why, because the SSDs, you need to get very specific ones to make it work, which is a pain in the ass. The first thing I noticed about this thing is the level of color detail that I was getting with it. I'm making a film right now, and a lot of it's done in dark rooms, and I got to color correct to this I am like almost degrading the quality of the image to a certain extent, but I can still get these crazy colors inside of shadows that give me a really creepy kind of depth. And that's what I love about this camera. I mean, it's just... And it's got the EF mount on it, so I can use these cameras interchangeably with the different lenses that I have. This does not have autofocus, though, which in a cinema camera you're not really going to get very often anyway, but I'll explain why that's kind of annoying in a moment. I bought this camera for $1,300. It came with a base plate. It was used. It came with a base plate, a battery, the charger, an SSD. For $1,300. I think new they cost like $2,000, which is still better than any red you're gonna get. I mean, the brains of the red don't come with like I don't think a red weapon comes with an LCD in the back. Generally speaking, these cameras are just, it's worth it if you know what you're doing and if you have the budget to build around it. That was the one thing that pissed me off about buying this camera. I am subscribed to like all of you YouTubers out there that review cameras, and none of you have videos, or I haven't seen any, that are explaining to new filmmakers and new content creators exactly how much, like a good, like for me, like a mid-range guy who I obviously have a budget. I got an 80D and a Blackmagic. I have a sound studio to some degree behind me. You know, I'm ready to spend some money, but like, where's that cutoff for certain things? Like, it was stupid of me not to realize initially that image stabilization was going to be a huge issue. All my shots initially for my film were static. And as I got a little bit more creative and got a little bit more confident in my shooting, those static shots kind of had a little bit of follow to them, which was fine if you're just doing basic tracking and stuff like that. But as I wanted to follow characters, you can't walk around with this thing. It would cost me another $3,000 to put the gimbal set up around this that I actually would want to make this functional as a camera that I'm actually shooting a movie on. That's the one thing that I know it sounds so dumb and so short-sighted, because it is. It is very short-sighted and impetuous that I would buy this camera, not thinking that there's no image stabilization, so I can't get like these quick shots or anything like that without spending massive amounts of money. It's bad on me, but you know, I also wish someone would have told me that. Like, just been like, here's the pragmatic idea, or what you are trying to do versus what you can do. Really, the thing about this camera was that depth of color that I was telling you about, and but I am also only shooting in 1080. The reason I'm only shooting in 1080 is because, again, the expense of having to put all of my raw footage on a server, which I don't own, so I'd have to buy one. It's too much. I don't have the funds for that. And I'm not throwing away footage. I just can't do that. I'm doing a 45-minute short film. I'm probably going to shoot 12 hours of total video, if I'm lucky, 12 hours. Where do I put all that 2.5K, like, that I bought this camera for, right? The reason that this looks so good on paper. I can't do it. I got to use 1080, and even then, I'm like, where do I put all this? Having said that, buying this helped me learn color correction, and it was beautiful for that. And and filmmaking in general, I learned so much from buying this. It was great. But the pragmatic thing, because I'm already shooting only in 1080 on this to save on file space, and because I didn't really see, like, I mean, I could see a difference, but as far as the mediums I'm going to show it on and the degradation that I'm already putting into the image with filters and the colors that I'm putting in there and a little tiny bit of FX, I'm already going to go down to 1080. So this already shoots in 1080. I'm not getting the same color out of it, but I get mobility. I get image stabilization. I get lenses with autofocus. And I know that's probably, you know, most of my lenses are prime, but to be able to walk away from this camera and just shoot a scene with autofocus engaged is nice. I can cut around the actual focus points or the focus bits if I'm lucky. This offers the mobility. I can follow characters. And one of the cool things is, because I'm also doing this channel, and because I'm also doing some interview stuff and weddings and real estate and videos like that, I don't have a huge problem setting this up and sort of letting it operate on its own for a little bit. Now, typically I'm going to have it like this. I'm going to have it on something. I'm going to have it mic'd up. I'm going to, you know, the whole deal, right? But I can see this from afar with this viewfinder and use that as a monitor to record myself. I can use it in a pinch if an interview is going oddly and I need to set up a different shot. It's just a lot more mobile and all in one. Like, I don't need to worry about all that other stuff. I shot one video with this where I left it and I filmed myself talking. It looks beautiful, but I had to shoot it like 4 times, and it was just a pain in my ass. And it's because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and I get really upset with myself when little things go wrong. But at the end of the day, this camera needs an operator. I'm too small of an outfit right now to employ someone to use this to film me and to film my friends acting in the scenes that we're acting in. This is sort of like a case study in pragmatic film. You want the most beautiful image you can get, but you also have to be smart about the all-around concept of what you're going for. My narrative is much more important than the image I'm putting out. And who's going to be watching this thing? A, probably no one. I mean, really, this is going to be for me. I would love to be able to put my entire film on 2.5K RAW and show it to people in like weird, funky little art houses and have them like freak out. But I don't have the money to get the gimbals together and to suit this with the things it needs to make it functional for me. This one I do. Like overall, all around budget for what I would want to do, if I would want this camera to be functional, I would say, let's say I don't have any audio gear I have, let's say I don't have the inputs or the preamps or any things that I've already invested in or the monitors or anything like that. I would say like this as the brains of the operation, get one of these, you're going to need about 10 grand total to make this like the camera it needs to be to shoot a full-on production. Because it eats up battery, it eats up SSDs, it just chews through that stuff so quickly. I can't make actors sit around and wait while I charge the battery or my SSD fails. This just takes a bit of a crew, I think. And this might all sound like very elementary, like I said, but and you might be laughing at me right now. I kind of wish I had someone to tell me this earlier on. This one, I mean, let's be real, with the lenses I already have 2 grand invested in lenses. My audio gear, I would say if I didn't have any of that stuff, I could shoot an entire film with this for about 3,000. 10 versus 3. I'm gonna go with this every time. Plus it's just it's a little bit more reliable when it comes to shots too. Again, just for all the reasons I just stated, the battery, more functional. The storage on these is more functional. I can edit, like right out. I can literally pop this out, put it in a laptop, the micro SD that goes in here. I can pop it into a laptop, offload all that data, delete it from the SD, and put it back in. There I'm wasting, 20 minutes tops of everyone's time versus this thing where I have a 240 gig and an 80 gig, and I'm constantly swapping them up because it's just eating them up, just eating up data constantly. So where are you at in your filmmaking career? I need to be logical about where I'm at. I need to be real with myself and have a little humility about what I intend to make and where I might go. Now, maybe I'll buy this again. Maybe I'll come back to it. And I think you're already kind of seeing where I'm going with this. 3 years from now, maybe the first film I make is going to be successful. Probably not. But maybe I get some people to invest in the next one and I can buy some gear and I can hire a crew and things like that. It's just not manageable right now. It's not something that I'm like, it's becoming less fun as I get better at my craft, if you know what I mean. Because I know what I can get done. I know what I'm capable of, and I don't have the money to make it work on this camera. Which is why I picked up another one of these. So it's really that simple. Have some humility, be pragmatic. Don't spend all the money you have. Leave your money alone a little bit. You're already investing quite a bit of money on one of these. This is expensive. Anything in the EOS line, even the Rebels, I mean, it's not cheap gear. Just be smart and understand that your first few projects don't need to be like the most beautiful or sound the best. It's all about the narrative. It's all about the content that you're creating. Don't be form over function. You want everything to function. Be true to your art and don't let the flashiness and the gear like I did, and I really did. I let sense of bullshit ego get in the way, and I ended up spending more money than I intended on doing. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to keep this, I'm going to film the entire film on that, and I'm probably going to sell this. So what's going to happen next? And by selling this, it means I can get the other lens that I want to finish this shoot the way that I want to shoot it, and I'll probably end up getting a little rig for this as well, which I already got 2, but I got 1 in mind for this one. So where are you at? Comment down below if you think that Blackmagic or Red is for you, because I do still put them in the same kind of category, even though those Reds, even just the brains, go up to like $49,000 for the 8K one now. But look, Casey Neistat still films on this, most of his stuff, and I don't know how much money he makes, but Beam was like $25 million. Like, you know what I mean? Pros still use these. So just get rid of your ego and spend the money spend the right kind of money on your art instead of be stupid like I was. I think you'll be happier in the end. All right, guys. We are The Hubrist on Facebook. I am alecjace on Facebook and Instagram, ALECJACE. If you have any comments, if you want to call me stupid down below, please do. I am pretty stupid. If you want to email me, I'm alecjace@gmail.com. If you have any questions that you think I can handle, throw them at me. And please subscribe and like if you can. If you hated it, just, you can click that one too. But, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day, night, wherever you are, time zone-wise. And we'll see you next time.